The silent arrival. The universe held its breath on the day everything changed. Dr. Maya Patel rubbed her tired eyes and reached for her fifth cup of coffee that night. The screens at the Arecibo Observatory reconstruction site displayed data that made no sense. Energy readings from beyond Neptune's orbit showed patterns that defied known physics. "Check these numbers again," she called to her assistant, Dr. James Chen. "Something's interfering with our sensors." James ran the diagnostics for the third time. "The readings are correct, Maya. Whatever's out there, it's real." Within hours, observatories worldwide confirmed the anomaly. The readings suggested artificial structures of immense size, cloaked by technology that bent light and radiation around them. The discovery triggered emergency protocols at space agencies across the globe. United Nations Secretary-General Amara Okonkwo convened an unprecedented emergency session. Representatives from 193 nations filled the Assembly Hall in New York, their faces grave as classified briefings were shared. For the first time in human history, political rivals sat side by side, united by a threat from beyond Earth. "We are no longer alone," Okonkwo announced, her voice steady despite the weight of her words. "And our visitors have chosen to hide their presence. We must prepare for all possibilities." 3 days later, the visitors revealed themselves. 7 colossal ships, each the size of a small city, materialized near Jupiter. Their hulls gleamed with an otherworldly metal that seemed to shift between solid and liquid states. No design philosophy from human engineering could explain their construction. The ships arranged themselves in a perfect heptagonal formation and began broadcasting on every frequency humanity had ever used. The message came simultaneously in Mandarin, English, Spanish, Hindi, Arabic, and dozens of other languages. Species designation: human. Your world has been selected for integration into the galactic hegemony. Compliance ensures survival. Resistance ensures extinction. You have 72 of your hours to prepare. Panic gripped major cities. Stock markets crashed. Riots erupted in some regions while others saw spontaneous prayer gatherings. But something unexpected also happened. Ancient enemies reached across borders. India and Pakistan opened emergency communications. The United States and Russia shared military intelligence. The European Union integrated command structures with China. In underground bunkers and secure facilities, humanity's brightest minds worked together. Dr. Patel found herself leading a team of astrophysicists from 12 nations. They studied every byte of data from the alien transmission, searching for weaknesses. "Look at their language patterns," observed Dr. Yuki Tanaka from Tokyo. "They're using our syntax perfectly, but something's off." Dr. Samuel Achebe from Lagos nodded. "They've learned our languages from broadcasts, but they don't understand our cultural evolution. See how they use formal structures from the 1950s. General Sarah Rodriguez, representing the Joint Military Command, leaned forward. "You're saying they prepared for a different version of humanity." "Exactly," Maya confirmed. "Their integration protocol assumes we're still divided by Cold War politics. They expect scattered resistance from individual nations." The revelation sparked hope. If the aliens had miscalculated one aspect of human society, what else had they misunderstood? Teams worked around the clock analyzing alien technology signatures. Engineers reverse-engineered communication methods. Cryptographers detected patterns in alien ship-to-ship transmissions. Slowly, a picture emerged. The hegemony had conquered hundreds of worlds using the same playbook: appear suddenly, demand surrender, exploit planetary divisions, and crush isolated resistance. Their technology was superior, but their strategy was rigid. They're administrators, not warriors, General Rodriguez concluded. They expect species to follow predictable patterns. With 48 hours remaining, strange things began happening worldwide. Internet traffic spiked as citizens shared messages of unity. Factories retooled overnight to produce standardized equipment. Scientists uploaded decades of research to open-source platforms. Humanity was doing something the hegemony had never encountered. evolving as a single organism. The alien commanders noticed. Intercepted transmissions revealed their confusion. Anomalous behavior detected. Species exhibiting unprecedented cooperation levels. Reassessing threat parameters. Dr. Chen made a breakthrough studying the alien shielding frequencies. Their barriers are incredibly strong, but they're calibrated for known weapon types. What about unconventional approaches? With 24 hours left, underground facilities hummed with activity. New weapons were assembled, but more importantly, new tactics were developed. The aliens expected conventional warfare. Humanity would give them something else entirely. President Elena Vasquez addressed the world from a secure location. We face the unknown, but we face it together. Today there are no Americans, no Chinese, no Russians. Today, we are all human. The countdown continued. Cities evacuated in orderly fashion. Military assets relocated to hidden positions. Civilian networks transformed into backup communication systems. Most importantly, 7 billion humans shared a singular purpose. As the final hours ticked away, Maya looked at the tactical displays showing Earth's preparations. Conventional wisdom said humanity stood no chance against a technologically superior foe. But conventional wisdom assumed humanity would respond conventionally. They want to integrate us into their hegemony, she said to her team. But they've never tried to integrate a species that's already unified itself. James smiled grimly. They came expecting to divide and conquer. Instead, Maya finished, they united us. Their biggest mistake wasn't underestimating our technology. It was underestimating our humanity. 0 hour approached. Around the globe, humans waited, not as separate nations, but as one people. The hegemony fleet began its descent, confident in their superiority and their time-tested tactics. They had no idea what humanity had become in just 72 hours. They had no concept of what a united Earth could achieve. Most importantly, they had no understanding of humanity's oldest truth. We are never stronger than when we stand together against the darkness. The invasion was about to begin. But this time, the conquerors would learn why Earth was different. This time, they would discover what happens when humanity says with one voice, "Not our world. Not today. Not ever." The ships descended through Earth's atmosphere, their shields glowing with confident power. Below, humanity waited. The greatest test in human history was about to begin. When unity prevails, the first wave struck at dawn. Hegemony drop pods pierced Earth's atmosphere like falling stars, targeting 50 major cities simultaneously. Each pod carried automated combat units, expecting to face scattered military resistance and panicked civilians. They found empty streets instead. In New York, pods landed in Times Square to find it deserted. In London, the Thames bridges stood empty. Beijing's Forbidden City was vacant. Tokyo's Shibuya crossing, usually packed with thousands, held only silence. Hegemony Commander Zektar observed from the command ship. Biological readings indicate populations have relocated underground. Initiate urban subjugation protocols. The combat units advanced through empty boulevards, their sensors sweeping for targets. Then the first surprise hit. Every electronic billboard, every smartphone left behind, every public display screen activated simultaneously. They showed a single message in the hegemony's own language. Welcome to Earth. Prepare for education. The psychological warfare began immediately. Hidden speakers broadcasted a mixture of sounds, frequencies calculated by Earth's best acoustic engineers to interfere with hegemony communications. Street art appeared overnight showing caricatures of the invaders. Graffiti in alien script asked, "Did you remember to call your mothership?" When combat units tried to establish control centers, they found buildings booby-trapped with unconventional deterrents. Paint bombs filled with biodegradable compounds that jammed sensors. Electromagnetic pulse devices crafted from microwave ovens and car batteries. Nets made from carbon fiber fishing lines that tangled mechanical limbs. None were lethal. All were annoying. Commander, reported Sub-Commander Velnox. The humans are not engaging in direct combat. They're employing pranks. But these weren't pranks. They were probes, testing responses, mapping weaknesses. Every action was coordinated through quantum-encrypted networks that linked resistance cells worldwide. Farmers in Iowa shared data with hackers in Seoul. Teachers in Mumbai coordinated with engineers in Sao Paulo. The true resistance revealed itself 12 hours into the invasion. Hegemony forces approached critical infrastructure points, power plants, communication hubs, military bases. They expected fortified positions. Instead, they found mazes. Humans had spent 48 hours transforming approaches to vital locations into bewildering labyrinths. Walls of shipping containers created false passages. Mirrors and holographic projections generated optical illusions. The paths changed every hour as volunteers moved barriers. Combat units optimized for urban warfare found themselves walking in circles. Their advanced navigation systems, designed for conventional architecture, couldn't process the deliberate chaos. Units sent to capture Beijing's power grid ended up in an abandoned shopping mall. Forces targeting London's communication center found themselves in a carnival funhouse. The hegemony's rigid protocols began to fracture. Units received conflicting orders as commanders tried to adapt. Some pressed forward, others retreated to regroup. The synchronized invasion became disjointed. Then humanity's counterstrike began. It started small. Isolated units found their weapons systems hacked. Not destroyed, just modified. Plasma cannons fired confetti. Intimidation sirens played lullabies. Target acquisition systems identified trees as high-priority threats. Dr. Chen's cyber warfare team had spent days studying captured hegemony code. They didn't try to match the alien encryption. Instead, they found the software equivalent of practical jokes and inserted them everywhere. The psychological impact was devastating. Hegemony forces, expecting desperate resistance or cowering surrender, faced an enemy that laughed at them. Combat units designed to inspire terror became objects of ridicule. Videos went viral through human networks. An alien war machine covered in sticky notes, another tangled in toilet paper. A commander unit painted bright pink while its systems were offline. 36 hours into the invasion, Sub-Commander Velnox reported unusual readings. Commander, human organizational patterns don't match any conquered species. They're coordinating globally without centralized leadership. Zektar's 6 eyes narrowed. Impossible. No species achieves hive mind efficiency without evolutionary pressure. But humanity hadn't developed a hive mind. They'd done something the hegemony never anticipated. They'd chosen unity while maintaining individuality. 7 billion minds working together, each contributing unique insights. The turning point came in Mumbai. Hegemony forces had finally cornered a significant human defensive position. An old fort converted into a field hospital. Combat units surrounded the structure, prepared for the first major engagement. Inside, Dr. Priya Sharma, the hospital administrator, initiated the next phase. Remember, she told her staff, we're not trying to win through violence. We're trying to win their minds. When hegemony units breached the walls, they found something unprecedented. No weapons, no soldiers, just hundreds of wounded humans, including many children. And in the center, a message in perfect hegemony script. Is this the glory your empire offers? We are healers. We care for our sick and injured. What are you? The combat units froze. Their protocols demanded securing the facility, but their sensors confirmed no threats. For the first time, hegemony forces hesitated. That hesitation spread. Reports reached Zektar of similar scenarios worldwide. Combat units encountered schools where children drew pictures of peaceful aliens. They found elder care facilities where humans tended to their age with compassion. They discovered animal shelters where volunteers refused to abandon vulnerable creatures. Each encounter was broadcast globally, not just to humans, but on frequencies the hegemony used. The message was clear. This is who we are. Is this who you want to destroy? 50 hours into the invasion, the hegemony's communication networks were compromised. Not by attack, but by conversation. Humans had reverse-engineered enough alien technology to send messages directly to individual combat units. The messages were simple. Why are you here? Do you have families? Is conquest your only purpose? For the first time in hegemony history, their forces began questioning orders. Combat units reported anomalous thoughts. Soldiers wondered about the species they were supposed to integrate. Commander Zektar faced a crisis unlike any in the hegemony's 1,000-year expansion. Previous species had either fought conventionally and lost, or surrendered immediately. None had responded with coordinated passive resistance, psychological warfare, and appeals to conscience. Commander Velnox reported, unit cohesion is fragmenting, requesting permission to withdraw and reassess. The final surprise came from an unexpected source. The hegemony's own historical archives, long classified, were suddenly broadcasting on all channels. Humans hadn't just hacked current systems. They'd penetrated deep databases, finding records of the hegemony's origins. The truth was devastating. The hegemony hadn't always been conquerors. They'd started as explorers, scientists, and diplomats. Over centuries, fear of the unknown had transformed them into what they fought against. Images from their homeworld appeared, art depicting peaceful coexistence, early spacecraft designed for research, not war, monuments to unity torn down and forgotten. This is who you were, Maya Patel's voice carried across all frequencies. This is who you could be again. Humanity offers not surrender, but partnership, not as subjects, but as equals. The psychological masterstroke worked. Hegemony forces, already doubting their mission, began to question their entire purpose. Combat units powered down weapons. Commanders requested clarification of objectives that no longer made sense. 70 hours into the invasion, Commander Zektar made a decision that would reshape galactic history. All units cease hostile actions, initiate communication protocols. The first true dialogue between species began not with threats or ultimatums, but with a question from Zektar. How did you achieve this unity? President Vasquez responded for humanity. We realized something your species forgot. Diversity isn't weakness. Our differences, our arguments, even our conflicts, they make us stronger when we choose to overcome them together. The negotiations that followed were unlike any in hegemony records. Humans didn't demand the invaders leave. Instead, they offered something radical. Membership in a new kind of alliance, not based on subjugation, but on mutual benefit. Your technology is incredible, Dr. Patel explained during scientific exchanges. Our creativity is boundless. Imagine what we could achieve together. The hegemony had expected to add another subject world to their empire. Instead, they found themselves fundamentally changed by first contact with humanity. Combat units designed for oppression were repurposed for exploration. Weapons were converted to tools. 6 months later, the first joint human hegemony mission launched toward unexplored space. The crew included Commander Zektar, now an ambassador, and Dr. Maya Patel, head of interspecies cooperation. You never really conquered a world, did you? Zektar asked as they watched Earth shrink in the view screen. Maya smiled. No, but we may have liberated an empire. The hegemony came to Earth expecting to find another primitive world to dominate. They found something far more dangerous to their worldview, a species that conquered through compassion, won through wisdom, and united through understanding. Earth wasn't integrated into the hegemony. The hegemony was transformed by Earth. And across the galaxy, other subject worlds began to whisper, if humans could do it, why not us? The invasion had failed, but in its failure, something greater was born, a new age of cooperation among the stars. And at its heart was a simple truth the hegemony had forgotten, but humanity never did. Strength comes not from forcing others to be like you, but from celebrating what makes everyone unique. The greatest conquest in galactic history wasn't won with weapons or threats. It was one with the most powerful force in the universe, the united will of free beings choosing to stand together. As the joint mission ship entered hyperspace, its message beacon broadcast on all frequencies. From Earth with love. We're not here to conquer. We're here to explore. Together. The age of the hegemony was over. The age of the alliance had begun.